Ready, hot!
Well, just going back over last Saturday's game, I thought defensively, overall, we did, we executed the game plan, went in and limited, Florida A&M's offense with, with what we wanted to install defensively, and did relatively, a really good job, take out the one play. Was a little problematic, and it was obviously a breakdown at the line of scrimmage fundamentally, and then technically not getting a safety over the top. We lost position on the football, and that's happened to us before, and we've really tried to make a conscious effort of all being on the same page. But we got caught in a bad rotation and gave up the big play, and that's something that if we can limit throughout the season, I think this can be a very effective defense, down in and down out, against all the competition we're going to see as the season goes on. But after two games, we're relatively untested in a lot of different areas, running game, passing game. What we'll see as we move forward throughout the schedule. So, we're in a pretty good position. I think our players have executed what we've wanted them to execute in a very limited package. So, feel good about where we're at. I think we certainly need to make some improvements throughout the next couple weeks before we get to playing a caliber team of Kansas State, and that will be certainly a big test for us. So it's nice to have the extra week to try to formulate a game plan that's conducive for what Kansas State does. Their quarterback run game is very extensive. It's very detailed. They're one of the best rushing teams in the country year in and year out, and a lot of that is predicated on certainly Klein, their quarterback, is a tremendous player with his hands on the ball, but I think they do a great job scheming, understanding weaknesses in your defense, and trying to attack those. So it's a very detailed preparation going into the Kansas State game. So we're in good position. I think our players have done what we've asked them to do up until this point, been pleased with our coverage. Overall, I think our run defense has been good, certainly can get better. The two big plays are, we gave up over 70-yard plays, one in each game, and that's probably the biggest concern with our defense at this point. But really like our personnel. I think our players are playing well. I think they're gaining confidence as we move along, and again, I think we'll be excited about a much different test we'll see in a couple weeks.
Will Casey Walker play, and what will his role be? And is there any, he's missed a couple weeks conditioning and everything?
Well, he's missed a couple weeks, but he went through all of training camp, so he's practiced a great deal through the month of August. So it shouldn't take him long to, hopefully get back. We'll see where he's at. Hopefully he'll have a good practice tonight, and I think we'll know more as we go along. But we certainly hope. Casey's a big part of what we do. Gives us another very stout body in the middle. So he's played some great football for us here at OU, and we're excited, hopefully, to get him back and going stronger than ever.
Mike, can you talk about Tom Ward has talked about the scheme being different than what it was under Brent Venables. There were some critics after the first game saying that they didn't think he was as active as he should be, and he came up and said, "Hey, I graded higher than ever." Can you address that?
Tom is one of our leaders on defense. He's kind of the glue that holds it all together. He's a tremendous player. He has tremendous instincts. He's very coachable. Again, a lot of the things we may be asked him to do may be different than what he's done before. But again, we like what Tom has done. There's nothing Tom can't do at that position, and I think he's a great player. So he'll make more plays as we go along. That's for sure.
But is it likely under your scheme that his tackles may be lower and maybe noticeable?
No, I just think people make too much of that. That's very trivial to look at schemes or whatever. I mean, it's middle linebacker plays middle linebacker. He's going to flow to the football, find the football, and that's what Tom does awfully well. We played a lot of one-gap, defense here, and that does limit some of your plays.
Mike, you had a chance to see some of your young players, Phillips, Anderson, Simon, the two young linebackers. How did you feel like they played in the game?
I thought they all played good. I think they're all good players. They all could play at this level. They're all going to be great players if they stick to what they're doing. They all have the physical skills to be tremendous players for their positions. So a lot of it is just developing and staying with it. I think all of them, it's a new experience being in college and playing in an environment like this for the first time. It can tie you up a little bit, and once they get over that, I think you'll see their physical skills to continue to flourish. And once they get used to playing in these environments, they're all very talented players. And like I said, I think all of them. There's not one that won't have a great future if they continue to progress the way they have through the first 4 or 5 months of being here at Oklahoma. They've only been here 2 months, 3, maybe 4 months. So they've all done a great job. Really like their demeanor. I like that class. I think they have some unique talent in that class if they again stay together and continue to work.
Mike, does going against the Belldozer in preseason in the fall kind of help you guys out defensively prepare? And also, will you ask Josh Heupel if Blake Bell can be your scout team quarterback this week?
No, we I don't think we'll go that far, but we'll do some more work, good on good, trying to get better throughout the course of the next 2 weeks. I think it's a critical 2 weeks for us as we move into really the bulk of our season from here on out. But Blake does a lot of good things carrying the football. Kansas State's offense, a lot of similarities in the same type of plays, the power and the counter. You're going to see over and over from Kansas State's quarterback. They just formation it a little bit different. So those are big plays when you play Kansas State. You got to be able to stop the quarterback, power and counter.
Bob said last Wednesday that he had a meeting, sat down, talked with Casey Walker. Were you part of that meeting? And if not, did you have a separate meeting with Casey? Have you talked with him at all?
No. I just go what Jackie and Bob tell me. So I just coach the guys that are out there. I mean, those are personal conversations. I don't again, I got enough to worry about with my guys, so I don't really get involved with the overall. That's not my job. My job is to coach the guys that are there and coach the DBs. That's what my title is.
Given Kansas State's powerful running attack, are you more likely to move into a three-backer scheme against them? Are you going to use that more than maybe the nickel?
Well, I think that's predicated again on how many tight ends and fullbacks and running backs are in the game. So I would say the chances would be greatly improved that we would use more, a three-linebacker defense more than we have, these first couple games.
Hey, Mike, could you talk about kind of what, I know you're dealing with defense, but what you've seen out of Damian Williams? We were talking to Chuka, and he was saying, he had some good runs against us in the fall, but, you just can't know that a guy's going to be out there breaking off 89-yard and 65-yard touchdown runs like that.
Well, he comes in with, a lot of accolades. I mean, he's a very he was a very polished player in junior college, and you could see his skill, from that level. And that's obviously it's not major college football, but you could see his talents were there. He wouldn't be at Oklahoma if he wasn't a first-rate running back. So again, he's come in, and his maturity and his diligence in what he does, I think day in and day out is what I've been most impressed with. I don't get to work with him, but all I know, he's a wonderful kid out there. He works hard every day, and that's really all I see. And if you do those things with his talent, then he's off to a great start.
But I mean, you've evaluated running backs as a head coach. Is there often a fine line between a guy that can be great like that and just be a really good player?
Well, I think you see he has some unique skills. You see his ability to close out runs. You see his strength at the line of scrimmage. So you see all those intangible elements to a running back that have to be there to be a great player. So we see him, every day. So it's really no shock to us.
Mike, how well do you feel like your secondary's played through the first 2 games of the season?
You take out the one play, I couldn't be more pleased with the way we've competed for the football and our position on the ball. So I wish I could have that play over with, but it's another great learning experience to understand when we get out of position, what happens to you. So it happened in a game that we were up 2 or 3 touchdowns and was really insignificant. But again, we have to learn from it and understand those mistakes can be very costly.
What are your thoughts about Arizona beating Oklahoma State?
Well, I was certainly happy for Arizona and happy for Coach Rodriguez and all the players at Arizona. They must have played an awfully great game, and it's a great win. It's a tough place to play there at night, and really proud of what Matt Scott has done. I think we all knew he was a great player. I think for me, it's not a shock. I saw what Matt Scott did for 4 years there. Got beat out by an NFL quarterback in Nick Foles, and Matt's just a tremendous talent. I'm really happy and proud of what those guys did against a really good Oklahoma State team. Again, it's more personal for me because I coached at Arizona. I'm really proud of those guys. So again, I had a feeling it was going to be it was going to be tougher than people thought.
Well, back to the secondary, how are you coaching them differently than how they had been coached the last couple of years? Because it seems like they're much more active, they're tackling better, and they're around the line of scrimmage a lot more.
Again, it's all on them. They're good players. Those guys can play. They know how to play, and my job is to put them in position to make plays. That's what I do. That's what I attempt to do every day, and they go out and make those plays and compete. I think the toughness that you have, the competitive nature, that's what I try to instill with them, and technique. And they've bought in and have competed. But again, we haven't gone up against the caliber of players we're going to see. But again, I think I don't see it changing. This is hopefully how they want to play. They're going to give up plays. That's going to happen. But as long as you're competing for the football and competing for your space on the field, then they're going to be fine. They're a very talented group.